Hi, this is Becca from UNC Wellness. This is the second video for men who want to bend. If you didn't get a chance to watch the first video, I encourage you to look that one up as well. For the men's class, we don't make any sudden movements from floor to standing. Rather, we work up gradually. So today we'll start seated, then kneeling, then standing, and then work our way back down. That way we can help protect our joints. You might choose to use a yoga block for this class. If you don't have a block, a book works just fine, although you might find that you don't need to use it for this particular practice. It also helps to be standing or seated near a wall or a post like behind me. That way, if you need some assistance with stability, that wall is there for you. All right, so to get started, we'll begin in a seated posture. Take our shoulders up towards the ears and then relax the shoulders as we come down. Let's do that one more time. And then bring the hands to the lap. And we'll start off with some breathing exercises. So let's close our eyes. So as we find our space, work to get length in the spine. So we can relax our shoulders, keeping the elbows light and the hands light as they rest on the leg. So as we notice the rhythm of our breathing, might choose to pair a word with our inhale and exhale. It can be as simple as in on the inhale and out on the exhale, or any other word pair that has some meaning for you. And with every inhale, saying the inhale word, and with every exhale, saying the exhale word. So as we move through our practice, if you find your mind drifting off or it's hard to focus, you can call back up your inhale and exhale word and allow the mind to become more focused on your practice. And on the next inhale, let's sweep our arms overhead. And on the exhale, bring the fingertips behind us, open the heart, drop your shoulders. We might lift the chin. And let's go ahead and relax. We'll start off with some seated Sun Salutation. So we'll bring the legs long out in front of us. If your hamstrings are tight, you can start with bent knees if you like, or place a block under the knees. If you tend to slump forward, be a little mindful of the spine and keeping the spine long. It sometimes can be helpful to roll up the back of your mat or sit on a towel to elevate the hips. On our inhale, we'll sweep our arms overhead. On the exhale, we'll fold at the hip, go towards the feet, though we don't have to reach them. Inhale, half lift up, neutral spine, hands under the knees. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms overhead, big reach. Exhale, bring the fingertips behind us, open the heart, drop your shoulders. Now let's do that 3 more times. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms overhead. Reach behind, open the heart, drop your shoulders. 2 more rounds. Arms lift on your inhale. Exhale, fold at the hips, sweep down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, bring the hands behind, open the heart, drop our shoulders. One more round through, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms overhead. And then reach the arms behind, open the heart, drop our shoulders, and release. So we're going to add a spinal twist. We can have the legs out to the front or cross again. It's your choice. We're going to sweep our arms overhead. I'm going to go to the left first. And so one hand will be on the knee, the other hand behind you. Lengthen through the spine. Relax your shoulders. Maybe look over your back shoulder. Inhale, reach up to the center. And then exhale down to the other side. Lengthen the shoulder. And then drop. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. One more time each side. Lengthen through the spine. Drop the shoulder. Inhale, find the center. And then down to the other side. Relax your shoulder. Inhale, find the center. And then back down, hands to the lap. We'll move over to all fours. So coming to the hands and knees, the knees will be under the hips, the wrists under the shoulders. You can also use your fists here instead of the flat hand to give the wrist joint a little more support. We're going to work on stretching our calf muscle as well as the heel and our toes. So as we bring the leg back, the toes will stay on the floor. We're not coming to a balance at the moment. So we'll lift the right knee on the inhale, right toes on the floor, and then press back on our exhale. Drop the knee and switch sides. Lift the left knee, toes on the floor, press through the heel. Come back down 2 more times each side. Lift the right knee, right toes on the floor, press through your exhale. Switching sides, lift the left, toes on the floor, press through the heel. One more time each side. Right comes up, right toes on the floor, press through the heel. Bring the knee down, and then switch sides again. And bring the knee down. We'll move on to either child's pose or modified puppy pose. These are both resting postures. So for child's pose, we'll bring the knees wide, bring the hips back towards the heels, arms stretch out in front, and drop the head. If that's not quite accessible for you, we're going to come to the forearms. We can make fists with the hands and then prop the forehead on our fists. Now on the inhale, coming back up to all fours, we'll work all the way to standing. So as we bring our feet to the mat, we'll sweep our arms overhead. Exhale, bring the hands behind. We're going to interlace the fingers. You can't quite get there with the fingers. You can hold an invisible ball. Open the heart, drop your shoulders, maybe lift the chin. And then relax. Let's take a shoulder roll, bring the shoulders to the ears, relax them back. One more time, lift the shoulders, relax them back. Very good. We're going to move to forward fold. So just as reminders with forward fold, I'll turn to the side so you can see. The fold always comes from the hip. We try not to slump our way down. So we always keep the knees bent and then fold at our hip as we come down. We start with the feet about shoulder and hip width apart. Keep the knees soft. And on our inhale, bringing our arms overhead. Exhale, soft knees, fold at the hip. Keep the spine neutral. You can stop in a half lift with the hands underneath the knees. You can also work your way down so your fingertips are on the floor or on the block. Eye gaze to the legs and the neck stays long. And on the inhale, let's sweep our arms overhead, big reach. And then reach the arms behind, open the heart, drop your shoulders, bring the fingers together. And then relax. Very nice. We're going to try some chair. So we're going to sweep our arms overhead again. This time we'll sit back in a chair, an invisible chair of course. Our knees will stay in line with one another and behind the toes, keeping the spine neutral. We can have our hands at the heart. We can also lift our arms out in front of us or even overhead. And then let's straighten the legs, lift the arms up. Reach the hands behind, bring the fingers together, open the heart, drop your shoulders, maybe lift the chin. And relax. Let's do that chair pose one more time. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, soft knees. Sit back in your chair. Arms can lift or stay at heart center. Remember, our knees are right in line with one another and they're behind the toes. You might even be able to lift up and do some twinkle toes. All right? Very good. Inhale, arms overhead. One more time to forward fold. Soft knees, fold at the hip. Going to come all the way down, either hands on the floor, the block, or come to your half lift with the hands underneath the knees. And then on the inhale, let's sweep our arms overhead, hands together, and then back to the heart. Let's step wide on the mat, toes to the corners. And so as our toes point to the corners, notice where your knee is placed as you sink down into a wide squat. The knee should stay over the ankle, behind the toes. If you find the knees are flying over the toes, give your feet a little more separation. That way you can sit a little firmer in those feet and also protect the knee joint. Now as for our foot, we should feel our toes, the ball of the foot, and the heel on the mat. If you tend to roll on the inside of that foot, press towards the outer edge so we can feel solid. Let's go ahead and bring the arms up into the scarecrow and squeeze the shoulder blades together. We're going to add some movement. So on our inhale, we'll straighten the legs, straighten the arms, come to a 5-pointed star. And then exhale, bend the knees, bend the elbows, sit back into that squat. Inhale, straighten the legs, straighten the arms, come to a star. Exhale, sink. We have 3 more. Straighten the legs, straighten the arms, coming to a star. Exhale, bend the knees, sink down to that squat. 2 more here. Inhale as you open. Exhale as you sink down. 1 more time. Exhale as you sink. Very nice. Bring the hands to the thighs. Turn so the right foot is parallel to the short edge of the mat, bending into our left knee. The left knee is over the ankle or slightly behind. The left heel will approximately bisect the right arch so our hips can stay square to the long edge of the mat. Hands can be at heart center, or you can work your arms up into a T. Heart center is fine if your shoulders feel a little tense. And you might gaze over your left fingertips. And on the inhale, the left arm lifts to the sky. Eye gaze can look up or down to your back foot. Exhale, back to warrior 2. Now to side angle. The left arm lands lightly on the leg. Right arm can be in the sky or tucked behind you. The heart always faces forward. So if you find that your right shoulder's tilting towards the ground, see if you can open the chest, squeeze your shoulder blades, and find some openness. And back to warrior 2 with the arms in a T. We'll straighten the front leg for our triangle pose. Hinge at the hip, reach the left fingers out over the toes, and open the arms. Once again, pay attention to your heart. The heart's facing forward. If you find you're collapsing towards the floor, bring the left hand closer to the knee. That way you can open up, and if you choose, wrap the right arm behind the back. Eye gaze can be forward to the sky or to your left foot. Find your warrior 2 again, arms in a T or at the heart. Straighten the front leg and then switch sides. So this time, left foot's parallel to the short edge of the mat. We're bending into our right knee. Right knee over the ankle or slightly behind. Right heel bisecting the left arch. Hands at the heart or lifted into a T. You can gaze over your right fingers if you like. Inhale, send the right arm to the sky. Find the length through the side body. Eyes can look up or down to your back foot. Exhale, find your warrior two, and then to side angle. Right arm light on the leg, left arm in the sky or tucked behind. Check your heart. We want that heart to be facing forward. Inhale, find your warrior two once more. And then straighten your right leg, hinge at the hip. Right fingers stretch over those right toes. And then windmill the arms. Left arm in the sky or wrapped behind. Notice your heart. If you're tilting towards the floor, bring the right hand a little closer to the knee. Back up again to our warrior two. Straighten the front leg and walk those feet towards one another till you're standing in mountain pose once again with the knees over the ankles. Sweep our arms overhead, big reach. Exhale, coming behind, open the heart, drop your shoulder blades, bring your hands together if you like. Lift the chin. And relax. We're going to move on to balance. You might like to stand next to a wall just for a little bit extra stability. You don't have to use the wall at all. I am going to turn to the side so both you can see and I can use my post as an example. So first we're going to start balancing on that right leg. So I'm going to shift my weight into the right leg, keeping my hips, knees, and toes square to the top of the mat. If I need to, I can hold on to that post with my right hand or place my right hand on the wall. So we start just with my left toes on the floor, noticing my balance. Check in with your right knee. If you find that you're locking your right knee, take a soft bend. Keep the quad active. Our spine is long, so our eye gaze can stay ahead of us. Try to avoid looking at the toes. If you feel comfortable here, you can also lift up the knee. It does help to flex your left foot. Very good. And then go ahead and bring that leg down. I'm going to turn to the side. Once again, I can use the wall if I like. So shift your weight into the left foot. Keep the knee soft, foot grounded. Coming up to my right toes. Check in with your left knee, making sure that left knee is soft. And then if you feel comfortable, you can lift your right leg, keeping the knees, hips, and toes to the top of the mat, flexing that right foot. And then go ahead and bring that foot down. Very nice. We're going to practice that one more time. I'm going to add a twist if you choose. So I'll turn again to the other side, shifting my weight into the right foot. Keep the knee soft. Left toes can stay on the floor, or you can lift the left leg up. You're welcome to stay right here or add the twist with me. If you're adding the twist, just keep in mind the hips, knees, toes stay to the top of the mat. We're going to twist towards the inside of the leg, so I'm twisting towards my left. My right hand is coming to the left thigh. My left hand is on my lower back. So changing the eye gaze and changing the orientation of the torso makes it a little bit more challenging. And let's go back to the front. Drop the foot. Very good. Let's switch to the other side. Shift the weight into the left foot. Soft knee, active quad. Coming on to our right toes. And then if we like, lift the right leg, keeping the left knee soft. You can stay right here or add your twist. Hips, knees, toes stay to the front, to that short part of your mat. And if you want to add the twist, I'm twisting towards my right this time, towards the inside of the leg. My left hand is coming to the outer part of my right thigh, and my right hand is to my lower back. And then coming back towards the front, drop the foot. Very good. I promise the more you practice balance, the more easy and efficient it will come for you. So we're back to our mountain pose. We're going to sweep our arms overhead and then down to our forward fold again. Soft knees, fold at the hip. We're coming all the way back down and then step onto the hands and the knees. We're going to stretch our calf muscle one more time. So one more time on each side. Sending up my right knee, toes on the floor, pressing back through the heel. Bringing the knee back to the mat, lifting up the left toes, pressing back through the heel. Bringing the knee down. And then working all the way down to our seated posture, either with the legs crossed or out to the front. So let's move on to some stretches, and we'll start off with the hips. I'll give you several options, so you do whatever is good for your body. So I'm going to bring my right leg out to the front. So the first option is to come to a figure 4, and I would take my left ankle and cross it over the right knee. So this is a fine place to be. You can use your block here, either under the left knee or under the right knee. If your hamstring's a little tight, you can stop here. You can also do a seated pigeon for a little more intensity, and that would be bending your right leg and keeping the leg crossed. Now, if you tend to slump forward, it can be helpful to keep the fingertips on the ground just to help you remember to sit up tall. If you feel good sitting up tall, you can also bring the hands to the legs. It helps if you flex your left foot. And of course, we're going to stay breathing. So at the beginning of our practice, we paired a word with our inhale and exhale. This would be a nice time to call that back up again. Okay, let's go ahead and release. And we'll switch sides. So the right ankle over the left knee, so we can stay again here in the figure 4, or come to seated pigeon and bend that left knee, crossing the right leg over. And sometimes one hip can be much tighter than the other, so you might be in a different posture on one side. For instance, a figure 4 on one side and a pigeon on the other. So keep in mind that spine stays long. You're welcome to keep the fingertips on the floor if you need to. Use your breath. Very good. Let's go ahead and release. So the legs can be out to the front or crossed again. We're going to work with our shoulders. We'll do some eagle arms. Give you 2 options, and you can find whatever works for you. So I'm going to start with my right arm out to the front, my left arm crossed at the elbow. So I can give myself a hug here and place my hands on the shoulders, or wrap the arms. However, if wrapping the arms just isn't accessible for you, it's fine to put those hands on the shoulders. And let's take a shoulder roll. So we'll bring the shoulders to the ears and then allow them to settle down in the back. Let's do that one more time. Bring the shoulders to the ears. Allow them to settle down in the back. And breathe. And let's release the arms. Walk the fingertips behind us. Open the heart. Drop our shoulders. And then relax. And again on the other side, left arm on the bottom, right arm crosses on the elbow. Hands can come to a hug or wrap the arms, but hug is just fine. And let's take a shoulder roll again. So bring the shoulders to the ears, then allow the shoulder blades to settle down behind you. One more time, bring the shoulders towards the ears, and then allow those shoulder blades to settle down behind you. And then release the arms. We're going to walk the fingertips behind, open the heart, drop our shoulders. Very Good, and then release. So next we're going to roll down to the back. So taking those knees with us, we'll come all the way down, bringing those knees into the chest. So we'll start off with a stretch for the hamstring. We'll keep the right foot on the floor, or you can, if you feel comfortable, stretch the right leg out long. We're going to lift the left leg up. We're going to press the heel to the sky. Now, if you do have a strap, you can use it around your foot. You can also get that intensity by pressing the heel and feeling that right there in your hamstring. Our shoulders and the head will stay on the mat. We can hold on to the leg at any point. And then on the exhale, we might slowly work the leg a little closer to the body. It doesn't take much to feel that in your hamstring. And then go ahead and release the foot. We'll switch sides. So extend that right leg, flex the heel. Shoulders and head, again, stay on the mat. You can hold onto the leg at any point. And then ever so slightly, maybe bring that leg a bit closer to your torso, folding at the hip. And then bring the foot resting on the floor. Bridge work, so bring the feet flat to the floor, walk them in so that our ankles are underneath the knees. The head and shoulders will stay on the mat. The eye gaze will stay to the sky. That way we can keep a natural curve in the neck. So engaging the outer thighs, press to the feet, we'll lift the hips up. And then exhale, keep the neutral spine as you lower down. And again, press to the feet, engage the outer thighs, lift the hips up. Exhale, lower. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, engage the outer thighs, lift the hips up. Exhale, lower. And 1 more time. Very good. Exhale, lower. And relax. So with our spinal twist, I'll go to my left first, bringing those knees stacked, folding down to the left side. You can place a block between the knees, underneath the knee, or underneath your foot. Our shoulders will stay relaxed on the ground, so that might mean the arms in their T, or we might rest the arms on the body. And then rolling up to the center, and then down to the other side. Again, stacking those knees, relaxing the shoulders. We can use our block underneath the knees or the foot if we need to. And let's bring the knees back to the center. And before the final relaxation, we're going to move to our legs up the wall without the wall. It's helpful if you brace your back, either by sitting on the hands, using a towel or a block under your lower back. And we'll lift the legs up and straighten the legs. It's okay if the knees are bent. You can also roll the ankles or point and flex the toes. You roll your ankles one way. Make sure to go the other way as well. And then bring the legs down. And moving on to final relaxation, we can keep the knees bent or lay the legs out long on the mat, whichever is more comfortable for you. Relax the shoulders. Go ahead and close the eyes. Hands can be on the belly or to the side. Allow yourself to come back into your breath. And if it's helpful for you, you can recall the word pair you came up with at the beginning of the practice. And say that word with every inhale and exhale. Outside, it's a nice time to listen for the wind, for the birds. Slowly start to bring your awareness back to the space. Bring the knees to chest. Roll onto one side in a fetal position. And then work your way up to seated. On our inhale, let's lift the arms overhead. And then exhale the hands to the heart. Thank you for practicing with me today. I hope to see you all again soon. Namaste.